Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. It is about 4:20 right now, so if other people join us, that would be great. If they join us a little later, great. For those of you that are joining us now, welcome. I hope everybody had a great summer. We're back into the swing of things right now, and hopefully, your students are starting to work in their courses, and hopefully we'll have a good year. So I want to just kind of have you guys just talk a little bit about how your students are doing, how your courses are going. If you have any questions now about anything, feel free to ask. So Shannon Rankley, would you like to just give a little feedback?
Sure, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Things are going well, just kind of getting myself reorganized for the new year. This is always a busy time with trying to figure out re-enrollments and students that are past 1 year and all of that. So just trying to get myself reorganized with my Excel sheet that I keep track on. Otherwise, things have been going good.
Okay, great. Thanks, Shannon. Katie, how about you?
Things are going good. My summer students seem to work really effectively. Some of them are a little bit slower to start this fall, but otherwise everything's good.
Great. Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Good.
How are things going so far?
They're okay. A little slow too. I have ones that just didn't finish last year and are re-enrolled, and just hopeful, just hopeful that they'll kind of just take some of the suggestions I'm giving them, to finish, so.
Okay, great.
Tough classes, though. Just tough classes.
Okay, Mary, how about you?
Hi, everybody. Yeah, good. I echo Shannon, just getting started with it again as well, and getting things organized and make sure I'm checking it all the time. I did start checking it in the morning before I leave too, as well as at night, because I saw some of the kids were working later hours than I usually do. And they do something, and if I didn't check it until the next night, sometimes they were stuck the entire day. So I started checking it a couple of different times a day. Jeff's here too, if you want to hear from him.
Hey, Jeff.
I have more 0% than anything else, which is a little disheartening, but I have a couple of them getting started.
Yeah, and and a lot I know has to do with those OLC students. It's you just never know when they're going to get started. I mean, some will show up right away and get started on their coursework, and then you won't see or hear from them maybe for a month, and then they'll come back. And some might not start right away. It's just really hit and miss, and I know it's frustrating at times, but all you can really do is just check on them, and just send emails out. I'm not saying that you have to send an email out every day to them, but we're just hopeful that they respond back to you and get started. I mean, that's all you can really do. And also those site coordinators, I can't stress enough that if you have any questions about any students, whether if they haven't started in their course, or if they started and left and haven't been back, email them. They have K-12 emails. I usually put that on the email when I send it to you guys, who their site coordinator is. They are there with the students. When the students come in, they're there working with them. So that would be another good way to try to reach out if you have a question or a concern about the student. So that's just a little FYI. But like I said, it's one of those things that's just kind of hit and miss there. But just have to have patience, I think. There's some that work really hard and finish quite a few courses, and then there's some that won't start at all. So yeah, it's just being hopeful and encouraging, and have patience, and hopefully they'll get around to it. I know I send a lot of emails out at this time of year, so I hope you guys are getting all those emails. I know it can be email overload, especially with the OLC students. But if you guys have any questions at all about any of your students, who they are, whatever, I can always send you a list of them, just so you have them all. But yeah, just any questions at all, just caller. Sarah, how about you? Your French students.
Well, my one student who we've been struggling with, that had been working on both semesters at the same time, he has finished semester 1 today.
He did finish?
Did finish. I have 3 assignments left to score.
Awesome.
But he is finished with semester 1, so I haven't had a chance to look at the second semester course, but he was, he had a little more to finish on that than he did the first one. So
Yeah.
So that's one victory.
Good. Good.
Otherwise, kids have been keeping up fairly well.
Good. Okay, Andrea Hansen, I see you're on. Can you, I don't know, can you hear us? Okay, Andrea, she is one.
Oh, I just unmuted myself. I just figured it out.
Okay.
Hey guys, let me see.
There you are. I see ya.
You see us? Yeah. So I'm at the mall with my kids walking around. No, actually going really well. This first, so I'll be like almost to my first year, so I'm just kind of figuring out some of those students that haven't finished in the 1 year getting organized. But I was gonna say I had a really good Zoom with a student and the e-mentor, and that students just took off and kicking butt all of a sudden. So I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool to set up with everyone. It seemed to be a start.
Okay, you're cutting out a little bit, Andrea.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for joining. I like that you're,
Yes.
You're multitasking. I like that.
What do we do? Yes.
Well, great. Thank you. For those of you that don't know, Andrea is one of our new Edgenuity instructors. She teaches biology and then middle school science for us. So she's doing a wonderful job. So thanks, Andrea. All right. Is there anybody else on that I missed?
I was just going to say, if it makes Andrea feel any better, I have a 5-year-old running around here, but she decided to go in the other room and play with Legos for a while. So.
Oh, good. Hopefully that'll keep her busy.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anybody else that I missed? I'm not sure. All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started since we are kind of a little bit behind. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here with the agenda. So I'm just going to kind of go over a few things. With Edgenuity, there's quite a few things that I kind of want to talk about. So hopefully I can get through this rather quickly so we're not on here forever. But just first of all, I say this every meeting, but I think it's a good reminder to us all. And like Mary kind of was saying, just make sure that you're checking on your students on a daily basis, whether it's in the morning, at night, in the afternoon, even if you want to do it a couple times during the day, whatever works for you. But just, obviously students are on at different times during the day. And there's quite a few students that we have in Edgenuity, working on their courses. So just checking on the emails, checking on those alerts, checking on the progress, if they've made any that day, if there's any assignments or anything that you need graded. Just make sure that you're doing that on a daily basis. The emails especially, we have a 24-hour email policy. So if you get email from a student or that day, make sure you email them back within 24 hours. I've had teachers contact me about, not teachers, e-mentors contact me about teachers not getting back to the student. The student will email the teacher and the teacher won't get back to them, within 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That's just too long. We need to make sure that we're keeping that communication open and we're helping that student with any questions they may have. So just make sure that you're really working on that. Completions. You guys are doing a really good job with sending me completions. One thing I want to say about completions is please make sure that the student is completely done with their course before you send me a completion. There's been quite a few times where I'll get a completion from a teacher or from a teacher, and then the student wants to redo the final exam. Once I get that that email from you, I'm pretty much thinking it's final. So if you need to respond back to that student and say, hey, this is what you have for a grade, are you happy with that? You know, do you want to redo your final exam? Whatever it might be, just make sure you kind of get clarification or something back from the student that they're done. I know there might be instances where you're thinking they're done and they're not. That's okay, but just really try to make sure that it's a final grade once you send it to me. Because, okay, once I get it, I send it to Karen. She puts it in the South Dakota Virtual School website, and then an email then gets generated to the district. So if they're wanting to change it, Karen has to change it on her end, but it just becomes kind of a nuisance. So we would like just to kind of have that final grade sent once and not twice or 3 times, okay? But yeah, email me the grade, the student name, the percentage they got, and the course, and then I will get that sent off to the district. Vouchers. Vouchers can be turned in the 25th of each month. I know a lot of you wait till about the 25th or the end of the month to send all of your students in that month that have completed or 12 months or up. That's fine. You can send them in one at a time. If a student completes, send it in with the completion grade. That's totally fine too. I have teachers do it both ways. So whatever works best for you guys. Let's go ahead and go into Edgenuity now. You guys have any questions about what we just talked about, completions, vouchers? One thing I want to say on vouchers, and I do have this on down here on G, letter G. I'll just talk about it now. Signature on vouchers. I did send out an email. I do need to make sure you guys have your signature on all of the vouchers. You cannot type in your name and send it anymore. I do need a signature. So whether you say, write your signature, save it on your computer and just kind of paste it in there, like insert it as a picture, that's fine. However you want to do it, but I do need to have a signature on there. There are some teachers that send me their vouchers via mail, which is fine if that works for you. A lot of them will just send it to me as an attachment. That's great too. So whatever works best for you guys. You guys have any questions on completions, progress, vouchers? Okay, I'm gonna pull up Edgenuity here. I just wanna talk about a few things. One thing that you guys probably have noticed is the new login pages. When you guys log in, you'll see it's a kind of a new look to it. That's just something that they just did, I think, maybe earlier this week or last week. But students will see this new login page as well. So that's something new that Edgenuity has done. Another thing that I do want to talk about is, let's just kind of go down here, eCommunity, the video training library. If you guys have any questions at all about the grade book as far as like retakes and bypass and reset activity, any of that stuff, that's all going to be in this eCommunity. There's guides and how-tos on all of this stuff. So if you need to like right here, this gradebook functions, if you click on this kind of will give you a little PDF as far as how to do all of that stuff, as well as this video training library. These are videos on different things, course settings, and probably course settings is what you guys would look at. But there's different videos as far as how to do these gradebook functions, completing a course review, assigning retakes. So these are very helpful too, if you guys ever need to kind of a refresher on how to do those things. The next thing, okay, let's talk about re-enrolls. And I know Shannon kind of talked about this. I know this time of year, on the OLC side, you get a lot of emails about re-enrolls. So this is how re-enrolls work. If a student, let's say a student's in a course in 16-17, okay? They have 12 months to complete that course. if they don't complete that course within that 12 months, let's say they enrolled in September, and then this next September comes around, if OLC puts them back in the same courses, that's counted as a re-enroll. So their 12 months are up in the 16-17 course. So if they have done work in that 16-17 course, you can submit a voucher for that student. And then that student then is going to be in that same course for 17-18. So you'll still have that student in the same course. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that if I put on there the student did work, they did 67%, they did 4%, they did 3%, I'll usually put a percentage of the course that they completed in 16-17, so you know, hey, they did some work, I can submit a voucher for this student. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, I see Carrie shaking her head. Yes, good, because I know that there's been a couple questions from some teachers about that. So if you have any questions at all, just email me about that, and I'll be able to help you. Impersonate. I do want to show you guys, I did show you this before, but if a student has a question about anything that's happening within their course, you can impersonate that student, and you can actually go in as that student and look and see kind of what they see. So that's just another option for you guys to better kind of understand what the student's talking about. So if I go to manage students, and I'm just going to pick this first student here, and I go over here way to the right and just drop down the arrow. There's going to be this impersonate. If you do not have this, let me know, because it's a permission, and I have to actually add that to your account in order for you to see it there. So once you click on this, it'll take you directly into that student's course. So you'll be able to kind of see kind of what it looks like. So this is kind of what it looks like from the student's side. They have the courses here, and then they'll have all the announcements here. If they click on this course, this is going to show up their progress report for this world geography course. Okay? So this is kind of what they see. There's emails. This is an email here. The student has 5 emails. Communications up here, just so you guys can see kind of what the student side looks like. But anytime, if you need to log in, or not log in, but kind of go in as a student, you can do it this way. Okay. Talked about the new login pages already. Chat Manager. I sent out an email a couple weeks ago about Chat Manager. This is just, I don't want student. This is another way that you can communicate with your students. I don't know if any of you have used it yet and how well it works. If you like it, if you don't like it, let me know. But this is how it works. The student actually has to be logged into Chat Manager in order for it to work, and the teacher has to be logged in. So if I go up here to communication and go to open Chat Manager, this little box is going to pop up, and then down here, select user. Like, see, Carrie's logged into chat. So I could chat with her because she's logged in. But there's no students, obviously, because there's not listed. So as soon as you select this drop-down arrow, it should pull up everybody that's logged into Chat Manager. And so if I go here, request a chat, Carrie, since you're on, let's see if this works. And I kind of tested it out earlier and it works, but this is just another option for communication with your students. I know when I was down at OLC last spring, they did talk about trying to find some other way besides email to chat with the teachers. So this could be one of those ways. And I do have it listed. Okay. Oh, see, now Jeff's on, Mary's on. It didn't go through to Carrie. Let's try you, Mary. I wonder if online chat users. I was just trying to think. I wonder if teachers can chat with teachers. Maybe that's why it's not going through.
Yeah, I just accepted your request.
Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it again.
All right, Bailey wants to chat, except I hit OK.
Okay. Let's see if it goes through. I wonder if teachers can chat with teachers. I would think you should be able to. Okay, I have Jeff Schneider wants to chat. I'm going to accept okay. All right, that worked.
Oh, you know what? I'm using Chrome, so it's blocking the pop-up from it.
Okay, so I'm on Firefox. I just accepted Jeff's chat. I said, hi, Jeff. Did you get mine, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, just write something back to me. That worked. I'm on Firefox too. Okay, so teachers can chat with teachers too. So I don't know, try this. If you guys log in, just open up Chat Manager, make sure you're logged in. It's really simple. You just have to go here, click on Open Chat Manager, and you're logged in. And just leave it open and just see, you know, if students chat with you. I do have it on their welcome email about how to do this, so they are informed. But it's just a matter of, do they read it? Who knows? But yeah, so this is just another option to communicate with your students and maybe even other teachers if you want. Okay? So use that, try it out. Let me know how it works and what you guys think of it. Okay, email, user groups. Okay, one thing that I learned today, something new, I had one of my teachers come to me and ask if you can send group emails, if you can send a group email. So let's say you have, like for example, I'm gonna take Sarah Fridley. She has French students. She might have 10 French students from one district, and maybe she wants to email all of them at one time. Now, one way you can do that, obviously, is to, if I go up here to compose a new email, and I type in all of the students' names separately, you can do it that way, but obviously that would take a long time, right? So we're kind of looking for a quicker way to do it. I did find out today that if you group your students in a user group, you can actually email using that user group. So for example, Marsha Cutler has Spanish students in Burke, and she has about 10 of them. So she wants to email them all at one time. So if I go in here to the to spot, up here to the search for recipients, and I type in Marsha Cutler's Burke students, great, now it's not gonna work. It worked for, all right here, Marsha Cutler's Burke students. Nope, that's not right. It worked for me earlier, great. But I know if you have a user group and you type in the user group's name, and let's say it's all your students from one district, because I know a lot of times you'll get multiple students from one district and you want to email them all, you can type in that name of that user group, it'll pop up here, and then you can send them an email all at once. So even like your welcome emails, if you have, you know, more than one student from a district and you want to send them all the welcome email all at one time, you can do that. This is how you're going to do your user groups. If you go to home and you go to manage user groups, you're going to go up here and you're going to add a new group. You add a new group, you name it, you save it, and then it's going to bring out, like for example, this right here, Jennifer L. Style students. You're going to save it, and then when you go to your manage students page, click on this little box over here to the left, and then you can add to the groups. So if you want to, you know, separate your groups, if you don't want all of your students in one group, you can separate them however you want. And this is how you do it. And then you're just going to click on this and click on this plus, and then it's going to add to that user group. I can send more information out about this if you guys like, but that's just one new thing that I learned today, and I'd like to pass it on. So if you want to do a group email all of your students at once, just type in that user group name, and it should go to all of them. You guys have any questions about that?
Casey,
Yes.
so will you still be placing those students in our groups for us?
Yes, I will. I'll place
Okay.
those in your user group. It's going to put them all in that one user group. But if you want to separate them according to district or according to course or whatever, you can do that on your end. I'm going to let you guys handle that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's kind of move on here. 2B, I just wanted to let you guys know, we did talk about this a little bit last year. We still are continuing to implement a K-5 online curriculum. We did approve and are going with Accelerate Education is the name of the provider. We're going to work on this year, and hopefully next fall, 2018, we'll be able to offer these courses online. There's still a lot of things that need to be done, but our goal is by next fall to have these courses offered. If you know any teachers, I will be sending stuff out probably towards the end of the year. If you know any teachers that can teach elementary and are looking for maybe a part-time job, I will be looking for some teachers towards the end of this year to be able to work with this program. 2C, we did talk about this a little bit already, communication with students. I know a lot of times, especially on the Ogallala side, students don't check their email. They don't respond back through email very well. So I just kind of wanted to bring this up to see if there was another option, or you guys have any ideas of how we can communicate better with our students. I did show you one way, which is the chat manager, but do you guys have any other ideas on how we can make the communication with our students better? I mean, I know another way would be phone calls, obviously, but I know some of you are against that, and that's totally fine. I didn't know if maybe there was maybe an app or some other sort of way that we could communicate with our students. Because I know in the Blackboard side of things, the teachers email back and forth using their K-12 email. And I know some of you guys also use that and would prefer the students to email you on that. And that's fine. But I just kind of wanted to see what your guys' feedback was on this.
Well, I'm wondering, do the kids use their K-12 emails as well?
Well, you know, I would say more so with the dial students, Kate, they would.
Yeah.
So I do, if you want, I do have their K-12 email. So I can also put that in when I send you the email for a new student. I can put that email address in there. So then you can email them that way too. I would say for the dial students, yes, but for the OLC students, they don't even have a K-12 email.
Yeah.
So that's where we're.
And I guess that's, you know, the bulk of where I feel not successful is with my Shannon County kids. You know, I'm submitting a voucher for this month for probably, maybe 11 kids, and probably 5 of them never started, and the rest of them just have, 1.8% done. And it just seems like very few of them have finished. Actually, since I probably started teaching the Shannon County kids, I bet you I've just had a handful finish art. So it seems like, I know that they've got to be motivated on their side, but it seems like if I could bug them just a little, that might kind of, prompt them a little bit. But like I say, I send out emails and there's never any response. And I'm guessing they just don't even check them. They're probably not even on the site on my class,
Right. Yeah. And, and this like I said, this is something that when I went to Ogallala last spring for one of their teacher meetings, they did bring this up. They did bring this up about communication with the teachers, a different way than email. Something besides email. And I think this is something that I need to think about, or we all kind of need to think about. And if there's anything out there that you hear of or anything.
I wonder if there's an app for online students. I think none of us really want to give out our cell phones. But on their side, the one way that we could for sure get them is through the cell phone. So I wonder if there's some sort of online student teacher app that they would have to download if they start one of our classes. And then, you know, if we could always, it'd be like an instant message through that. I bet there's got to be something.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Some sort of app where, yeah, it wouldn't be, you know, they wouldn't give out your number. It would just be something that they would download, and then you guys can connect that way. You know, let's just keep our eyes and ears open, and you know, I'll look into this maybe a little bit more too, and just see if there's anything out there. But in the meantime,
Sounds good.
yeah, obviously that chat manager, they have to be logged into the site in order to do that. But that might work because they're not actually going into their email. It's actually right there, and so it'll pop up right there when they're working. So try that chat manager, see how well that works for now, and then in the meantime, we can kind of I can look into it and see if there's anything out there.
Sounds good.
Okay. On to 2D. I just wanted to let you guys know of a few new courses that we have. These are actually Blackboard courses, but the Foundations of Technology course is a new course this year, as well as the American Sign Language course. Those are two new courses that are listed on the South Dakota Virtual School website. We're really excited about those courses. So if you have any students or even teachers there at your district, you can inform them of these new courses. 2E, the Core Education Cooperative, I just wanted to list the address and the phone number. This is our new address since we have transferred over to Core instead of Mid Central. So just please make note of that if you need to send anything to us, or the new phone number there as well. Also, the board meetings for Core are different than before. Will always be the first Thursday after the first full week. So if you send in your vouchers by the 25th, or if you're doing it every time you get a completion, I will submit those, and then the next month you will get paid. So you'll get paid by the 10th of that month, of the next month. So if you send it in at the end of this month, so in October, you'll get paid by the 10th. So that's kind of how the whole payment will work there, okay? I talked about signature and vouchers already. Our website, I wanted to kind of just briefly show you guys our website. This is new for us this year. Karen Peters has been working very hard on this, or she did work very hard on this this summer and the beginning of this year. This is what it looks like. Our address for our new website is dialsd.net. So if you have any questions about virtual school, this is where you want to go. We have a list of our courses that we offer. If you click on the underlined course, that'll give you the syllabus to the course. Calendar and policy, so if you have any questions about our policies or calendar, start and end dates for anything, this is kind of more for Blackboard, but they're listed here. If you just go to register here, this is more for our school districts. They can click on this link and it'll take them right directly to register students. This is kind of a neat tab, testimonials. I got a testimonial from a parent, one of the site coordinators out at Ogallala, and one of our teachers kind of just gave a little brief explanation on how they like Dial Virtual School and how it benefited them. And just some contact information here. So just want to give a thanks to Karen on figuring this out and getting this going for us. We're really excited to have our own website. Okay, let's keep going. Just a few more things. Actually, 2I, staff meeting date. So just take note of our next meetings here. November, January, and March will be webcast, so we're not going to have a live meeting like we are today. May, at the end of the year, our last meeting will be May 9th. We'll have another live meeting like we're doing now, just kind of wrap up the year. But the rest of them will be webcast. We'll send out the recording to you guys so you guys can watch it whenever you have time. And then Sarah, why don't you go ahead and just give a brief explanation on our book study.
Okay. We have an online book study with a book called The Online survival guide for online teaching, I believe is the name of it. And I can send out the like a link to Amazon for the book if anybody's interested. We have it set up on Edmodo, and it's just completely open in that we don't have a beginning or end date, so people can work at their own speed. We usually have 1 or 2 people at any one time working, and so I've for now at least, I've left up some of the past participants' comments so that anybody that is currently working on it can get a little bit of a feel for interaction with the other folks, even though they might not be currently checking and responding, but at least you can see what other people are thinking on the various questions. It's set up with a very simple structure so that you have a reading assignment and a question to answer, and usually the question is going to ask you in some way, how it would apply to your own courses. Anybody that's interested, the credit that we're offering is continuing ed units, which are free, and Department of Ed does accept those, and 15 continuing ed units are worth 1 credit toward renewals. So anybody that's interested can just give me an email and I can connect you to the course and get you going. The only cost to anybody would be the book.
Okay, perfect. We do encourage all of our staff to take this course at least once when you're teaching with us. New teachers, especially you guys, just so that you guys can kind of get the hang of online teaching and kind of get a little bit more experience in that. But yeah, we encourage all teachers to take this if you want. We do encourage that. So, okay. You guys have any other questions or concerns or comments? Okay.
Casey?
Yes.
I guess I just have a question. Earlier you mentioned, you've been sending out a lot of emails with new students and re-enrollments and things like that, and you're hoping that we're getting them. I guess I'm one of those, I don't usually respond. Would you prefer if I would say something like, thanks, got it? Or do you not? I just didn't want to send you a bunch of messages back.
Right. I guess I don't need a response back. I guess I'm just trusting you and hoping that you get it. I know some of you do respond back to me, and that's great. But I don't need a response. At any time, I know you guys can always email me and say, hey, can you send me a list of your students? And I can do that as well if you're not getting them, or if you have questions about any students. But I think it's fine.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being rude or anything like that.
Nope, you're fine. You're fine. I don't want. And once you get it, yep, I'm fine with that. Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, then we will adjourn. So I appreciate you guys all joining me, and be looking for the webcast the next in November. I'll send the recording out for this meeting as well. But you guys have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, Casey.
See you later.
Thanks, Casey.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.